Hello, Hamish here from mortgagesonline.co.nz. I've got Dev Sandhu with me today. We are talking some changes for first home buyers, and what else are we going to talk about, Dev?
Mainly two things, Hamish. First is first home loan, and second is first home grant. These are the two main things we're going to discuss, and we'll kind of touch base on how much you can afford.
Actually borrow
and
are these practical, usable stuff, right? So let's get stuck straight into it. First home loan, home grant, two separate things.
That is, and there's a strict criteria behind this.
The first home loan, what it means really is that it's outside the RBNZ speed limit. So, you know, RBNZ at time to time, you have like your speed limit, 1 out of 10 people only allowed with a low deposit being less than 20%, right? If you fit into the first home loan criteria, it's all good. The banks, really, it's up to them, not the set. There's no speed limit, basically.
Yes.
What's so special about that? Well, first of all, it just means it's easier. Income caps do apply though, but the house price caps don't apply.
Yeah, they have removed the price caps. Previously, there was price caps if you want to buy a first home in a different cities across nationwide.
Depending on the city, yeah.
And now they have removed it. So basically there's two stages. One is the first home loan, which you need to meet a certain criteria, and then the second stage is the bank's own criteria. So there's two stages you're going to talk about.
Correct. So we're going to touch on how much we think you might be able to do, but let's just touch on the home grant briefly. I know there's a lot of stuff out there, but the home grant basically means that you get a cash injection from the bank, depending on how long you've had Kiwisaver, and whether you're buying old or new, right? So if you've had Kiwisaver for ages, you might be able to get $5,000
for the old house
and $10,000 for a new. If you're a couple, you could maybe double that if you both have had Kiwisaver, right? So that's the home grant. Price caps apply though still, and income caps apply. Price caps meaning to get that cash injection, depending on the area. Like in Auckland here, you'd have to buy for less than $875. Okay.
And this is just with the first home grant. Remember, if you're buying a first house, there's no first home loan caps. There's no caps on the loan, but in order to get the government cash, there is a cap on that.
Well, I guess the question is this though: can I borrow with a less than 20% deposit? Right, that's the big question.
Yes.
And here's the thing. Whatever I'm going to talk about today applies to this first home loan scheme. However, if you don't fit that, we might still be able to do things, right?
Yes,
we are doing low deposit home loans, even though they're restricted. Now, how much do I think you could do? Okay, how much do I think you could do?
Yeah, plus, we also want to touch base on the income caps to see as a single, what is a single
That's
individual
a good point.
and a couple income slab in order to be eligible for this criteria.
Now, there has been a change there. So if you're a single person, you have to earn less than 95k
in the last 12 months,
subject to bank application approval. 150k if you have a dependent. Okay. Now, for a couple, that's 150k before tax in the last 12 months. You have to earn under that to be able to get easier flow through to be able to buy with as little as 5% deposit to 10% deposit. Yes, you heard right. That's 5% deposit to 10% deposit, right? If you fit this. Subject to each bank's own rules. Now, not every bank is partaking in this particular type of thing. I'm not going to name banks, but, because I don't want to promote any particular bank, although the red colour comes to mind when I think of one of the banks that participate. And if I was going to pick a small bank, which I think has always been pretty nice in the space, SBS Bank. I said I wasn't going to name banks, right? But we deal with a few banks that do participate, so feel free to contact us about this. But how much? If you're under those price caps, the bank rules still apply.
Yes, bank have their own assessment criteria, and you need to meet that as well in order to be eligible for these, because they're the one who are giving you the money.
Yeah. So as an individual, I feel like somewhere from 500 to 600, 640k, subject to application and your bank statements and how much you go to the pub and all that. This is the kind of loan you might be able to get before your deposit is added on top, right?
Yeah.
So not bad. possible to buy in Auckland. As a couple, which means you could actually be earning up to 150k.
Yeah.
If you were earning about 150k, you could be subject to your own living expenses stuff. 800k to 900k.
That is within the Auckland.
Yeah,
price
so
cap.
yeah, although the price caps don't really apply. So I mean that's not bad, right? That's actually not bad. I mean, I'm not saying that this is the right amount for you to borrow, or that this would be possible in your own particular circumstances. But look, even at that 800k figure, before your deposit, that still gets you up to that 900 to a million range for buying with less than a 20% deposit, which is not bad.
Especially if you live in an Auckland.
Yep. So I think there will be, I reckon there's going to be a lot more new buyers.
Yeah,
this
and
year.
this is giving a hope with the increasing interest rates to the first home buyers.
Yep.
There's a lot of information to soak up. If you have any questions, more than welcome to give us a call. We're happy to help. You can always call your bank to find out if they'd be able to lend. Otherwise, we're always there for you. Just give us a call. Be happy to help.
Yep. Cool. Thanks for watching.